Good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 17 of First and 10 with Foz, the podcast of the very fragile Chicago Bears, my friend. We'll get into that later. On top of that, we got Mongo, who got into the Hall of Fame. Congrats, Mongo. Found out yesterday, was official, announced everything. Super happy, really hoping that he makes it throughout the year to next August. Nothing but love to him and his family. So congratulations, Mongo. Tonight, Maxwell and I are going to be breaking down preseason so far, talking about the upcoming game versus Buffalo and home opener versus Green Bay, man. What are we, 17, 18 days away right now, man?
A little over 2 weeks. It's wild.
Cannot wait, dude.
Wild.
Wait. But tonight, we have one of the most fun and most colorful super fans that I've come across for the Buffalo Bills. He's part of Bills Mafia. He's a Day of the Dead inspired fan, has a really awesome costume. Got to meet him and his family at the ESF draft party this year and was completely blown away. Super nice guy, super nice family. Definitely talked to him, wanted to have on the show. So if everyone can put your hands together and welcome Dia Billo to the show. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good, sir. How y'all doing?
Great. Doing great.
Doing great, man. We're just having a couple beers, relaxing. It's 100 degrees out here today, man. What's the weather by you?
It's 120.
Man, it's up there. If I lose power, we might have some rolling blackouts here. My phone will be good though. Trust me.
No, you're all good. We tested it earlier, man. You're good. Dia Billo lives in a very resort area in which he does not get much reception, but we're gonna pull through it tonight. He's gonna do it, my guy.
The old parts unknown.
Yeah.
All right, my guys. A part of Bills Mafia. Like I said, you have a great character, super fun. Fell in love with it immediately when I saw you and your family at the draft party. Tell us about when you became a Buffalo Bills fan.
Man, it started in the late 80s. Probably about Jim Kelly era.
Jim Kelly era.
Thurman Thomas, yeah. Andre Reed. Yeah.
Oh, Thurman Thomas, that's my favorite all-time Bills player.
Nice.
He's up there. But yeah, so late 80s and man, I've seen all the 4 Super Bowls and that kick with the Giants. For sure, we should have had that one, but hey, it is what it is.
I think you're part of the most heartbroken fandom known to man. That early '90s Bills team, man. Like, I couldn't imagine like being such a dedicated fan, just having your heart broken. Was it 3 times in a row?
I thought it was 4.
Was it 4 times in a row?
Yeah, it's 4. Yeah.
4 times. Hey, it gets worse.
Jim Kelly, dude, he got him there every year too, man. Like,
I'm in Texas, so. Man, I had to deal with 2 of them Super Bowls with Cowboys fans, so that was tough going to middle school over there.
So how's the boy from Texas become a Buffalo Bills fan? Because you were telling me that your mother's a Redskins fan and the rest of your family is all Cowboys fans, correct?
Right. So my mom is a hardcore, diehard Redskins fan, and so if you remember back in the days, it was always like Cowboys and Redskins for Thanksgiving. Right, Cowboys Indians
versus Indians, yes, sir.
Yeah, so usually the weather typically tends to be not the best, wet, a little rainy, a little cold. So I would always remember that they would lock the door on my mom and make her go to the back. So, so usually we would come through the back door and didn't like the Redskins, you know. But my favorite color was red. I like blue, so I just took a liking to the Buffalo Bills.
So is it better to have been to 4 Super Bowls and not one, or never made it to a Super Bowl ever and still be desiring a Super Bowl?
I think once we get it, it'll just make it that much sweeter.
For sure.
Can't change history.
No.
But it hurts. It hurts right now.
I mean, you have to commend that. 4 straight Super Bowls is impressive. Like, think about it. Think about any sport.
That's
to make it to 4 straight.
Patriots going 4 straight.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Losing 4 straight is even more crazy, but going 4 times in a row is I
don't even think the NFL wanted us in the last 2. I think the NFL wanted another team. If you can remember that.
Dude, my first memory as a kid for football was the Giants and Bills game. I remember betting my grandma $2 that the Bills would win, and ever since then I've hated the Bills.
Well, my $2 back, cash.
What's that $2 in today's value now?
Yeah, that was like $100 bet back then.
Yeah, good call.
So with your mom being a super fan, dude, she was decked out at the party, man. You were like, oh, we talked earlier, like, well, she wasn't like a super fan like we are, but I mean, for the time, she seemed to be pretty into it. She had all the gear and
Oh man.
everything. Was she like your inspiration for getting into the NFL and loving football?
So football is due to her. You know, my mom is a big hardcore Redskins fan.
Plus, you're from Texas,
NFL
and they
fan.
breed football down there. So.
Right. So as I grew up in the 80s, she would just always like just talk crap about the 49ers because the 49ers were it in the 80s. And I remember she would say, oh, I can't say what she said, but it wasn't nothing good. But just to love the passion that she had for the game. And that's what brought me into football. And it is because of her. My dad was always working and he didn't really basically he just wanted his number to hit. Let's just say that.
Don't we all, my friend? Don't we all?
When was your first Bills game that you actually attended?
You know what? It was late. It was the Texans. I actually took my son. It was 2 years ago, so I didn't get to go to Buffalo for a while.
Wow, what was your first game actually at Buffalo then?
It was 2 years ago against the Texans in Buffalo.
All right, I got you.
So, how, when, why, all the what's above? When did you decide that you want to know what? I love my team. I'm going to dedicate myself towards this franchise. I'm gonna start wearing costumes going to the game. So, when was that decision made? And tell me about the inspiration for the costumes. Obviously, it's Day of the Dead, correct?
Right. So Dia de los Muertos, yes.
Yes.
So after I took my cousin up there, and I had some shirts made, and they were of Pancho Villa.
Yes.
And I'm sure everybody knows Pancho Villa.
Colin brother, yes, sir.
So I happened to just make a shirt with Pancho Villa in the center, and on top it said Puro Pinche Mafia. So I noticed like how many fans were taken to the shirt, like, hey man, miss you Pancho, just a lot of just love for Pancho. And my cousin had came with me and my son, and we met another fellow fan that lives in Buffalo, which is a good friend of mine. His name is Ryan, who I keep in touch with all the time. And I happened to give him my sweater because I had a sweater as well. I gave it to him, and I think just wearing that like brought a just like, I mean, people from everywhere, just no matter what color, what you were, it was just all about the Bills and Pancho. And my cousin says on the way back, he goes, man, he goes, you got to do something like that. He goes, so I know your love for the Bills, and you got to do something like that.
And well, you did it, my friend. Well, you did it. So, do you go to with your son to every game, or do you guys do dual costumes? Kind of. When I saw you guys at the draft party, obviously the only time I saw you in person, like the whole family was Day of the Dead dressed up with it. I thought it was awesome, man. So
yeah, my daughter.
Do you guys usually do that? Is that usually how you roll into games?
So if I roll into games, yeah, I'm bringing Dia Billo. And some people say Diablo, but it's Dia Billo. But yeah, I'm rolling out Dia Billo, and my youngest daughter is like all about it. She's like, Dad, I want to do what you want. I want to do what you do. So nice. She was the one that put out the Katrina, the Katrina and all that, and painted her face, the Day of the Dead, and that's how she was rolling with me that night at the ESF draft party.
Ever since I saw Coco, man, I just loved it so much.
Yeah.
So when I think of Buffalo, I think of three things. I think of crazy snowstorms for a big metropolitan city. I think of wings, and I think of the absolute craziest tailgating fans in the history of the world. So what's it like at these parking lot games? What is it like there?
Man, it's amazing. So like I said, the cousin that I went with, he was actually a Green Bay Packers fan. So that year we went to see the Bills, and we saw the Bills and the Texans in Buffalo. But a couple months later, we ended up going to Green Bay, since that's his team. We saw Green Bay. I was on a Sunday night game, and it was, of course, the Bears. And
I know the result of that one.
Yeah. So just the fans, the pregame parties. I mean, the love for the teams. I mean, he was just blown away, and he actually became he became Bills Mafia.
So part of the tailgating question, I got a 3-part question. One, How many tables have you gone through? Number 2,
I've only
how
gone
many
through
bowling
5.
ball shots have you done? And number 3, what does food taste like cooked off of a Pinto?
I'm gonna find out this year. So if you saw me at the party, I was sitting with Kenny for a while, Pinto Run.
Yeah.
And he told me, "You come see me." He goes, "You come see me in Buffalo, and I'm gonna show you some things." So this will be my first experience this year, God's willing, with Pinto, and do the shout out of the
bowling ball.
ball.
So for those who don't know,
I don't know anything about
Ron
it
out there.
Yeah.
Pinto Ron is one of the most old school famous super fans there is for Buffalo. He drives an old 70s, 80s Pinto to the game. And
Exactly.
the hood gets so hot from overheating because that's how the structure of the car is. He actually cooks food on the hood of the car.
Exactly.
And before the game starts, every single fan covers him and douses him completely in ketchup and mustard. To the every inch.
Well,
every
this is why they're
centimeter.
jumping on the tables then. They're eating undercooked meat.
They're hallucinating from the undercooked meat from the Pinto.
No, I'm just kidding. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, dude, he's a legend, man.
Hopefully I can throw the ketchup this year.
Yeah. I saw him at the ESF party. He was at the Tailgate Hall of Fame this year, too. Dude, he's awesome, man. He's definitely a legend.
No
Definitely
shit. That's awesome.
So now that we're on the draft, and Kenny is he'll probably, whenever I see him in Buffalo, I'll probably be taking this up there with me. And
oh, nice.
he had a good time with this.
Oh, hell yeah.
If his feet were hurting from walking at the draft, this was a fix.
I love it, man.
I wrote the prescription.
Got to get that medicine up in you.
Yes, sir. So we kind of bypassed it a little bit. Let's get back to your costume. You have your mask and your hat and your cane and everything with you, right? Obviously, you're not in costume right now. Everyone saw it during the promo. So why don't you talk about each piece and how you custom made it?
Okay, so I'll get back to how it all started. So when my cousin said, "Hey, you need to do something like that," so I came back and I was like, "Man, what could I possibly come up with?" I wanted something unique. I wanted something with my culture, and I wanted something to represent me, my culture, and so when I came back home, I live in San Antonio, Texas. They were having a parade, Dia de los Muertos, and it's real big here. For my people from Mexico, it's really big, but my people from San Antonio, hey, it's just a big party let's celebrate and get drunk.
That amazing. I absolutely love it.
So they have a river parade and everything, and they have these floats that are just the sugar skulls that they're so decked out. And I said, you know what? That's it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna run with. So that's how Dia Billo came about.
That's really cool. I really dug it. I'm not into all of them, but I really thought that was cool.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, when I saw you at the ESF party, I'm like, that guy needs to come on my show. He said,
"There you go."
I
appreciate it. Yeah. But I can get I'm gonna have my son help me.
Yeah, no problem. But take your time. I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, please. So this is my top hat, right? So I had it airbrushed and stuff with the old school Buffalo, and then so it all started for me was by
oh, dude, yeah, I didn't see that on the top of your head. Hell yeah, man, that's
cool. So
that's
by
really cool, man.
Yeah, so that's how it started, and that's where I figured, hey man, let me put him up there facing the heavens.
Yeah.
You
bring a poncho to any super fan nowadays, and any old school super fan people who've been around definitely were inspired by him, not just for the Bills, but around the league, man. So
Pancho Villa, like I said, he had something to do with me, what I'm doing now, and that's why I face him to the heavens.
That's awesome.
And then, Nate, can you give me my mask and my gloves, please? And by the way, man, this wasn't easy. I came across a lot of headaches and hiccups. I was like, man, this is not as easy as I thought it was going to be, because I just wanted something nice.
Yeah.
Where you're trying to get fabric from the top to the bottom. Sure. You want it to all to match. So it it wasn't easy. So that's my
Nothing great is,
first
my
mask.
friend. Nothing great is.
Yeah. So this is my first mask, and I'm gonna actually do some more. I like this one. This is gonna be my original, but I'm gonna be just tweaking it a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Are you doing any upgrades to the costume for this year? I know every super fan who does like the dress up normally, they're altering something or doing a different outfit or adding a piece on. You got something brand new coming up for this
So
year?
I got something really cool that's coming up, man. And
There we
I'm
go.
really
I
excited for
know
it.
you did.
Yeah. So if you know about Dia de los Muertos, there's a Mexican folk art, and it's called an alebrije.
Mm-hmm.
So have you ever seen the movie? I'm sure everybody has kids. They've seen the movie Coco.
Oh yeah, dude! I brought it up like
so
5
the
minutes ago.
colorful-
Coco's a bomb.
Yeah. So those colorful like dragons and all that stuff. I'm
Yeah.
actually gonna get a buffalo for my get up on the coat itself.
Oh, nice, man! That's
Yeah.
awesome. I love it.
And you already know the gloves to.
You got your pimp daddy cane over there too, or what?
Oh yeah, he's back there. Back there.
So you can be strutting around.
Yeah. There he is.
There we go.
They call these. I put some cacho seeds on them. The noisemaker.
Yeah. That's awesome.
This is
man.
awesome.
And I had to do the Zuba print.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bills and Zubaz is like the it's like the
That's like
ultimate.
the
yeah, it's
original
like
Zubaz.
it's like the
Yeah.
ultimate combination.
Gotta have some Zuba in there. And then so
Jacket. It's the jacket.
The jacket.
yeah. There
Sopranos
goes. Hey
reference,
everybody.
I won't
The
talk it.
ESF. There's ESF right there. And my home is Texas. Everything else is pretty much Bills Mafia. And then I got my 25th infantry patch. And the back here is going to be, of course, Puro Pinche Mafia. If you know what it is, I like to hear it.
I do not. I do not.
It means pure fucking mafia.
Love it,
So
dude.
that piece I was telling you, it's going to probably be somewhere in here, man. It's going to be a big piece.
You're
I'm
just missing a Foz patch right over the heart chest piece, but I'll send that to you. Don't worry about it, man.
Yeah, give me, man. I'll get you in here. I'll get you in here.
Right over the heart, brother. Right over the heart.
I said it's almost like the Bond villain in Live and Let Die. He's got the Baron Samedi. He's got the whole look going. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, dude. You're definitely killing it with the outfit, man. Keep it up, dude. You're on the right track, my friend.
Yeah, then I'm looking on doing some pretty cool new shoes, some custom shoes and stuff. So it's still.
It never ends, man. It's never gonna.
Yeah, no, it never ends, and it gets more expensive the more you want to get more into it.
So I wasn't aware of this or not, so I figured I'd ask you because so many super fans do this. Are you involved with any like charity organizations or anything for charity, things of that nature? Have you gotten that deep in it yet?
So here in San Antonio, we have the San Antonio Bills backers, and we do like the raffles, the 50-50 raffles.
Yeah.
And that's something we do. We do Toys for Tots.
Very cool.
And then last year for the San Antonio Police Department, we did a toy drive for the Blue Santa.
Okay.
But so when I retire, I really want to do something for kids that are underprivileged and stuff. Like, my work schedule is it doesn't allow me as much as I would like to do. Like I work weekends too. So, but yeah, I definitely want to do something like nonprofit or organization for charity.
You're a young man. You plan on retiring anytime soon, brother, or what?
I'm looking at 5 more years.
Oh, nice.
It.
Good for
Yeah,
you,
but-
man.
I must have made a wrong choice somewhere. Maybe like 75 still working.
Social
That's
Security.
awesome, man. Congratulations, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
The dream, retire young, right?
Exactly. But keep moving though.
So we talked about it, right? You're an ESF brother like I am.
Yes, sir.
Where's that coin at tonight, sir? You got that coin on you?
I got it.
Let's see it. Let's see it. Raise it up.
I gotta go get it. If not, I gotta do push-ups.
Uh-oh, you don't got it on you.
I don't got it on me, but I got
Okay,
it.
so we got to do wall push-ups so we can see you, my friend. Let's count it out, everyone. Let's count out 10 for Dia Billo.
Some wall push-ups.
We'll let you do the wall push-ups. I want to see you do them.
All right, hang on.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's why you lost 4 Super Bowls, because you didn't have your coin on you.
Hey.
I'm just joking with you, man. No, but seriously, ESF, man. So how did you get involved with the ESF organization? Obviously, Poncho was obviously a big part of it to begin with, too. We see your inspiration to join up with the rest of the organization.
Right. So Tiffany had reached out to me through Facebook, and that's how it happened for me. And I thought at first, I was like, is this like some kind of spam, or what is this?
Dude, you ain't lying, bro. I get spammed up like a mofo, like daily.
Yeah, but well, obviously it turned out to be true.
Tiffany's the best, dude. We love Tiffany. So she's part of your Bills Mafia too.
I got to give it to her, man. She did really a hell of a job for that draft party, and I'm sure that probably was a headache for her, but I appreciated it. My family appreciated it, and it was awesome.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait for this year, man. It's going to be in Detroit this year, and then Green Bay the following year. So neighbor states to me, so I'm excited.
Book your Green Bay hotels now, because there's no hotels.
So that's what I was just going to bring up, like, because when we went to Green Bay, we had to stay in some place called Appleton.
Yes,
Okay.
Right,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
And
there's nothing.
Like you couldn't get an Uber out of that place.
Nope.
And if
There's
you did,
nothing around
it was like $300.
To where?
Now we got to drink and drive in Green Bay.
Dude, there's no hotels in Green Bay.
Really?
No. You have to drive, like you said, like Appleton. There's another place too that's like the closest place. Like there's literally not, like, unless you make a really good friend with somebody who has a house like right across the street from the goddamn stadium.
See, I haven't been to Green Bay because for obviously reasons I haven't been to Green Bay. But I even heard like they still have like metal stands, like bleachers, like high school bleachers.
You can park in somebody's front yard for $20 right across the street.
Yeah.
Only in Wisconsin, people. Only in Wisconsin.
Yeah, that sounds like a really bad idea for the draft. But I digress. We don't want to talk about Green Bay. So to get into current now on the field Bill stuff, and pardon my ignorance because I followed it at the beginning. I haven't heard the resolution. Is the Stephon Diggs stuff still going on, or what the hell's going on?
Man, if you ask Stephen A. Smith, he got
that's the wrong person.
But hey, man, it's ratings, but the truth always comes out. I think Diggs, he's hungry, man. He's hungry. So are we. I just want, man, if I could tell Diggs something, I'd be like, man, we've been wanting this since as long as the Bills existed in as far as the since the Lombardi came about. We want this bad. Just as you want it bad, like you've been here for years, trust me, man. We want it so bad. Very bad.
See, I'll give it to you guys. And Maxwell's fully going to agree with this with me before I even tell him. But 2 years ago, that Chiefs versus Bills game, dude, that playoff game might have been the best football game I ever watched in my entire life, dude. And
right.
It was just toe-to-toe between Allen and Mahomes and literally overtime rules. It was the only reason why that game ended the way it ended. But dude, man, you guys do have a squad out there, dude. Much respect.
But I don't mean to cut you off, but like it seems like Diggs is in the most perfect situation possible. You have a great quarterback. You have a team that hasn't won the Super Bowl.
Good defense.
Yeah, you have a good
offense.
Yeah, it seems like what is the issue? Wide receivers being wide receivers.
Which really new. Well, last year in our defense, I mean, we had a lot of injuries. I mean, Vaughn went out, Micah Hyde went out, Boyer, he was out for a little bit. We had our defense was playing very thin, and then Hamlin, me and my son were actually at that game.
Oh my God.
That was it was tough to see, man.
You were at that game?
Yeah, I was there in the end zone front row that day.
Dude, what was that like being there with that happening? Like when you guys found out like exactly what was going on? Like what was the reaction to like the live fans there? So
the reaction was, it just like that environment was just so like it was a playoff type of environment because there was a placement for the.
That was like a playoff game, dude. The Bengals.
Yeah, it definitely. And then Monday night, like man, it was big time. So that place was electric, and it just went from that to when a player went down, and you just saw we saw Hamlin collapse. At the time, we didn't know who it was. We're kind of ground level, so you can't see who it is. And then all of a sudden, the fans in back of me, and there's an EMT that happened to be at the game. He was a Bengals fan. He's an EMT. So he started saying, like, if you look, like, they're starting to do chest compressions on him. He managed to see that through the legs of the players, because when it went down, you just see like a frantic, like everybody came and they circled around to, so that way nobody saw what was going on, protecting their brother. And then he just started saying, man, they're doing chest compression. This is not good. And the stadium was just silent. It was just silent. And
was
so
anyone there expecting the game to continue at that point? I know that was kind of like the immediate controversy. Like they didn't know exactly what they were going to do as far as calling the game, or if they were going to continue or not. Again, being a fan there in the stands, like what was some of the reactions in regards to that? Because I can imagine there was probably like just some knuckleheads drunk knuckleheads. They're like, oh, they're calling the game. This is BS. Like, so what was the fan reaction?
So the fan reaction was, so before the game, man, I would get heckled, but it was like in all in good faith. It was nothing bad. So after that happened, the fans were, I mean, there was nothing like that. They were very sincere. That's why I got a lot of respect for the Bengals, the who I have a lot of respect for them, because the way they were toward me and my son, they said, hey man, we're praying for your player. It was nothing like that. I think at that point, and I can count like probably like 2 fans that were kind of ignorant about it, like. No. But other than that, like for the mass majority of them, man, they knew what it was about. It was about somebody that was in some serious, health issues, and they wanted him to pull through. And the game got suspended maybe like 45 minutes or so. So there's a lot of stuff going on, like, hey, we don't know what's going on. But once it went on the screen, like the game has been suspended until further notification.
Well, it's nice to hear that was the reaction, man. Most definitely, because like you said, it became more about football at that point.
Yeah. It was just about, football. And then, like I said, it was just more about somebody that needed prayer more than anything. And they were all about it.
So how do you see, so this year, obviously the AFC East looks pretty loaded. How do you see it going this year? You got Rodgers in the division now, who we'll see if he's washed up or not. The Dolphins looked for real last year. I don't know about the Patriots with the quarterback, but how do you see it going this year for the Bills?
I will be okay. I think we'll be okay. Aaron Rodgers, the Jets, they've done some things. I know them Jets fan.
Still the Jets.
They're ready for something, They're ready to get off the ground, let's just say that. But sure. I think we'll be good.
Well, I'm very happy to say he's your problem now, bud.
Yeah.
We've been dealing with him for too long. I'm so happy he's out of the NFC North, man.
Yeah, we're getting him later on down the line, though. May not be a State Farm commercial, maybe AARP or something like that, but we'll be ready.
So what about the game this weekend, man? You guys got starters going. I heard Josh Allen's going to be started. Is that correct? Or
man, they played a little last week, and I caught it later because I'm in Texas, so I don't get to see every single game unless, like I subscribe to the NFL Network. Now it's going to be, YouTube, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Josh Allen should be going, and a lot of stars should be going. But this last time, I don't know what happened. I don't know if Pittsburgh just had something up their sleeve, or maybe we're just kind of like, let's give them something else to talk about.
Yep.
So what's the score for Saturday's game?
Well, I'm going to have to say 24-17, Bills.
That's respectable. Obviously, you weren't going to choose the Bears to win, so I respect that score.
I do like the Bears, though. I got a lot of family in Chicago.
There we go. We'd be happy to have you, my friend. You're welcome anytime. I'm going to reverse it and say 24-17 Bears, my friend.
There you go.
What about you, Maxwell?
It's just going to be
throw off giggle numbers right now.
It'll be a tie.
It'll be a tie. 17-17 just ended.
Yeah. There you go.
What's your thoughts on these preseason games, man? We talk about it all the time. Like, I just feel like there's such a waste, and there's so many injuries and so many problems. Everything happens. Like, obviously, you have to prepare for the season, but at what cost when you're losing out on your big stars in games that mean absolutely nothing?
Yeah. So to me, like, I look at sports, kind of see it like let's say for instance, like boxing. You can train to hit a bag and you can hit mitts with your coach all you want, but if you're not sparring and you go to try to compete in a ring, it ain't going to be the same. So I feel the preseason games are important, but just to get the rust off, you know. But like anything, man, you can get injured anytime, any day.
Yep. 100%. That's the other side of the coin,
Yeah.
is that you can get injured at your practice doing nothing. I mean,
the Bears know everything about that.
Yes,
too, and we'll
yes.
get into that shortly.
yeah, yes.
Well, Mr. Dia Billo, I appreciate you coming on the show. Like I said, definitely fell in love with your character, and your family was so great. Everyone at the ESF party. My cousin Rusty Fosno is also a big Bills fan.
That's my buddy right there. I like him.
I know. He's been
Smart man.
raised by Bears fans, so he's black sheep from the family. Nobody talks to him anymore. So he's all yours now. You're pretty much his family. No, I'm just joking, man. I love my cousin. We talk all the time on Facebook. He's a good guy. And personally, the Bills are my second favorite team next to the Bears, dude. So definitely love Josh Allen, everything you guys are doing out there, man. Appreciate you coming on the show. You've been awesome, my friend. And best of luck to your Bills this season, man. I'll be rooting for them in the AFC, buddy.
Me too.
Thank you, guys. Y'all take care, man. Put up Bills Mafia. Love y'all.
All right, sir.
Right on, man.
All right, bear down, brother. Later. But another good dude, man. We've been having good dudes on the show.
Yeah, I haven't hated anyone yet. They've all been cool.
They've all been good guys. So Bears news. Injury.
It's a lot of it.
Obviously the biggest one to be concerned about at this point is Tevin Jenkins. Because he's pretty much already being declared not starting the season. What do? Do you throw in Carter? Do you throw in Leatherwood? Do you go out in free agency right now with the money you have and pick up that baller dude from Dallas who's still available, who was ranked number 9 or 10 guard last year overall?
Who's been fishing and sitting on his couch ever since.
Yeah,
it's tough, man. Yeah, it sucks for Tevin Jenkins because it all sounded like it was really going well in preseason, and it sounded like he was finally fully healthy and everything was fine. And then you get a double calf injury from they don't know how.
A double?
Because he played the game, he was fine.
How do you get a double calf? How do you do both calves at the same time?
So he has
maybe if like you're deadlifting or dead squatting or something.
Doesn't he have a history of wasn't it back problems or neck problems that he's had?
Neck problems prior to the draft, which was a concern during the draft.
All that shit connects. So you worry about that. He's another Kyle Long, where all the talent in the world, but he just can't stay healthy.
Yeah, hopefully that's not the case.
So to the other part of your point, I don't know. Ja'Tari Carter has looked good in preseason, and Leatherwood's a former first-round pick that you picked up. You got to use him at some point or get rid of him. So
there's money invested there.
I prefer it's probably easier. It's not easier to replace someone on the left, but it's easier to replace a guard than a tackle because tackle is obviously the absolute blind side of fields. Yeah. So the guard, you feel a little safer. I don't know that left side though. I don't know. I still haven't bought into Braxton Jones, but and then Cody Whitehair now maybe too. So I think you would stay internal and maybe sign that guy as if you want to. Or where the hell's Lucas Patrick? Isn't he on this team somewhere too?
Dude, who knows, man? I think they're trying to roll with as least as many people from last year as possible on the line right now. I'm surprised some of them are still out there. They're out there right now.
That's the other question. If they're still out there, there's a reason they're out there too. So grades or not, there's a reason everyone's always looking for offensive line.
The last thing we need to be worried about going into this season in 2 weeks is our offensive line.
I agree.
That's the bread and butter of any football team. Yeah. Justin Fields don't matter. DJ Moore doesn't matter. This run game that we got doesn't matter without an offensive line. So out of all the problems we could have right now, this is the absolute worst.
It's worrisome, no doubt about it. If it's just Tevin Jenkins, you had to know at some point with his history, this was a possibility. So I'd rather it be now, and then he possibly comes back healthy 3, 4, 5 weeks into the season. Maybe only misses 2 games. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I'd rather it be now, and you actually have a little bit of depth now. Get him right, get him fine. Maybe it will be 2 weeks. Maybe it will be fine. Maybe he'll be totally fine, miss a game or two, and he's fine. But right now I would roll with the guys you have. Sure. And then if you feel like you need to pick up, we don't know what's going to happen with the waiver wire here too. Guys are going to be cutting left and right.
Yeah, so exactly.
See if somebody flops from another team, they cap cut or whatever you want to call it, and hey, maybe there's another guy.
Foles definitely knows how to wait patiently for sure.
No doubt, as you should. You shouldn't be rushing. You shouldn't be rushing right now to do that. Now, 3 guys you lose on your offensive line. Okay, now you got to rush and scramble. But if it's just him, okay, you probably expected this anyway if you're a good GM. So
well, Darnell Wright's injured right now. It doesn't seem very severe from the way they're playing it right now. It doesn't sound like he's going to miss out on week 1.
Yeah.
So hopefully all these are just precautions right now is what I'm really hoping for.
I'm hoping so too. And plus you got that extra week off.
Eddie Jackson, Edmonds. I mean, the list goes on.
It's a lot. I mean, the veteran guys, unless there's actually like an injury with it, like where they say it's this or that, I think it's more of they're injured and training camp sucks, and we don't want.
It's 100 degrees outside.
Yeah, and we don't need to push these guys that we know that are ready to roll. So yeah, your foot hurts a little bit.
And Flu runs a tough practice, man. Like we saw that during the Hard Knocks when he was on
Indianapolis.
Yeah. So, I mean, he busts those guys' asses out there, and
that's all well and good.
These are millionaires at the end of the day too. So
they're
only going to allow themselves to be pushed so far to like, I'm good.
No doubt. And I mean, like this time of the year, you just don't know. They don't have to put injury reports out. So it could be as simple as he woke up today and he was a little sore. And like screw it. Let him have a week off because
look at the reports on Komet yesterday. They were reporting like this dude died on the field yesterday. And then today he's back at practice. Like, no, but I mean, he's all good.
Yeah, that's the misinformation of training camp. You don't know because they can't watch the reporters can't watch everything. The coaches don't have to report the injuries.
Out there, man.
It's a lot of that. I mean, like if you read those articles yesterday, it also said like 2 minutes later, he got up from the cart and walked off the field. So, like, you've got to really look at it with some serious glasses and say, like, okay, is it like if you read, like, okay, the Tevin
people just read the title.
We heard Tevin Jenkins for sure. They put a number on it, 2 to 6 weeks, this and that. Okay, he has an actual injury.
No one else has a number.
Nate Davis is like, there was reports like maybe he had some family problems too, but like, Teron Edmonds, he's a veteran. He doesn't need to play. He
just came back to practice this week.
He's fine. You don't have to worry about guys like that. When they actually put numbers and actual injuries on it, that's when you worry this time of the year.
Most definitely. So speaking about the Colts, we didn't get a chance to talk about it yet. Bagging came in, dude, killing it. PJ Walker looking like a bum, man. I know we kind of went back and forth on this, but QB2, not QB2. I think all the fans are QB2.
Our Bears, we love our 3rd and 4th string white guys. Like, we just love them.
No, we know how fucking injury prone
our
players are. And you got to think about scenarios like this, especially Fields being a very mobile running quarterback.
I know.
One wrong hit, even if it's just temporary, him going out for a quarter, we got to have someone come in, not just blow the game.
We talked about this. I disagree here. Badgett, is it Badgett?
Baggett.
Okay, he's going to definitely make the team, but I don't see him being your 2nd string going into the season. Just you want a veteran there who's done it before. And yes, PJ Walker's looked terrible, and Peterman sucks. But you want a guy who knows exactly what to do when he comes into a game immediately. Yeah, Badgett.
Peterman's probably not even going to make the roster.
No, practice squad guy.
3 QBs is a lot to keep in.
Yes, usually you don't, but now with the new rule where like game day, you can designate that guy as like an emergency guy. So you're basically he's an extra roster spot. So it's 53, there's 54 if you keep 3 quarterbacks. So yeah, it's a really good story, and he's looked really good. Let's also remember he's been slaying bums out there. But he was a Division II undrafted quarterback, and he's looked good. There's no doubt about it. He's got a really good arm. He's looked good, but I don't know if I would trust him. God forbid Fields has to miss a game or 2 early in the season. Would you trust him to immediately go in here and handle the offense?
I don't trust anyone coming who we currently have with Fields goes down.
Of course not. Of course, we're screwed anyway. But I'm just saying, would you trust a rookie like that coming in? That's that green and played in Division II. I know that's a
Look
knock.
At Purdy, man, who came in for the.
I know that, but who did he?
But
who did he play college with? I mean,
you can strike lightning here, man. Is all I'm saying.
But Purdy came in late in the season. Like, could like if we're in week 15 or something, we need a backup. Okay, maybe now the kid's had enough practice. He's seen enough with Fields and the quarterback room and the coaches.
I almost feel like you know what you're going to get with Walker. Like what's Jaga.
Yeah,
but with Baggett, it's a wild card. It is definitely
But do you want a wild card early in the season? I don't know if you do. Like, I'm not.
Walker's a guaranteed loss going on the field. In my opinion.
I'm not poo-pooing.
I'll take a wild card over a guaranteed loss if we get in that situation.
Late in the season, and he's had enough reps, and he's played enough with the team. Sure, fine. But I don't know early in the year if you want that. I don't see him doing it, honestly. I see them keeping him as your number 3.
Well, both agree he's going to be number 2 next year.
Absolutely. A full season under the tutelage of coaches, gets to see how it all works under Fields. Say what you want about PJ Walker and Peterman, but still, there are professional players who played in the league. They can tutor him. They can help him. The coaches can help him. He can see it all runs. Yeah, he's your number 2 going into next season and a really nice option if he keeps developing. It's a nice find. It's a really good find. But I think it's gotten out of control a little bit with
Well,
the.
I mean, if you watch that game,
He
really,
looked good. No doubt.
really where he did awesome was like one drive that lasted 9 minutes.
Yes, he looked
He
good.
ended up scoring on his own, but I mean, I think the fact that he's being talked about so much overshadows what Roschon Johnson actually did on that drive, because he was a workhorse, dude, and he was breaking tackles and making moves, dude. I mean, I definitely think he's moving up in the depth charts, my friend.
It's Chicago for you. We're still drunk for quarterbacks. So no matter what, we're going to talk about an undrafted, goddamn fourth string quarterback,
we
maybe.
were watching.
When like should be talking about exactly like the kids that are rookies that look really good. And those are gonna be wrong. Badger look good, but like Roschon Johnson.
We were watching Sportsnet before this, and freaking they were talking about Mahomes and 15 again still today.
I'm
Like,
telling you.
that's our sports media in Chicago, man. Quarterback.
But no doubt.
More importantly, like I said, Roschon Johnson, I think, was the main thing to take out of that, dude.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be fighting for that number 2 spot.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
And Foreman's definitely going to have some competition.
100% because Khalil Herbert has looked really good so far in the games I've seen him in.
Most
So,
definitely.
yeah, it's a nice three-headed monster. It looks like you can never have enough depth at running back, as you see every single year. Somebody always comes up. Somebody has a bad year. Somebody gets hurt. And he looks nice. He looks like a monster. It's good to see because you can always find those guys. It just shows you can always find those guys in the fourth round. Why give up draft picks? Why would you pay overpriced? And it sucks for them. I get it. But, yeah, he's looked really good so far.
Justin Fields is starting this Saturday versus the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
When I heard that, I was excited because I'm going to the game. So if anyone's going to the game, hit me up. I'll meet you up. Dr. Pepper, we'll always have a beer. But the point I'm trying to make is, like, should he be starting this game, or should he have started the second game and have not started this game? Like, this move kind of doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, I raised 3 eyebrows when I saw that.
Yeah. You sit him in the entire second game.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I know Eberflus said they did it because it's such a high intensity of the practices against the Colts. He didn't feel like he needed to play him, and that's fine. But it really seems like the second game would have been your tune-up. The only reason I come up with is now you have that off week before the season starts. Maybe you want to make sure he hasn't been sitting for 3 weeks, but then why wouldn't you start?
Now you got to test him with this new offensive line.
And that's who now you have those all. It sounds like a lot of them aren't going to be playing, so it's interesting. Other than you're going to put him in there just to hand the ball off, I guess, for maybe two drives, and that's it. I don't. Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, I would have played him, a couple drives last week, and if he looked great again, like he did the week before, fine. You don't need to play him game 3. That's fine. Want him to get healthy going into the season, but it's bizarre a little bit.
Well, we got to trust Flu, man. Obviously, what he's seen in practice and what he saw in scrimmages last week is giving him confidence, hopefully. I mean, again, just being a longtime Bears fans like we are, we're always nervous about everything.
I'm pessimistic.
Because of the long-lived disappointment that we've gone through.
Yeah, I start negative and I work my way to positive.
Yeah. It's hard not to be just completely negative all the time.
Yes.
So, I'm just looking for a fun game this weekend, man. Again, the rookies, the draft picks, the second, third stringers. I mean, they're fighting for their life out there right now, trying to make the final cut. Speaking of final cut, do you think there's any guaranteed cuts right now who are definitely not making the Bears?
I don't think you could say that now definitively, but there's a lot of interesting competitions. I know as we were talking about the defensive line earlier, Terrell Lewis has played really, really good.
Did you cut Travis Gibson?
How do you not put him on your team? I'm not saying you cut Travis Gibson, but you may have to carry 6 defensive linemen. Most teams do that.
I mean, that would be a Moneyball move in my opinion.
Because he's making, I think, $3 or $4 million this year, which is a lot if he's going to be just a backup. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And he hasn't really blossomed like we all thought he would. They seem to love Dominic Robinson, which he's got a lot of talent. He's a young guy. He was just one of his draft picks, but I mean, you haven't heard much about him so far.
Again, similar to like the Baggins situation, you're talking about are you ready now compared to in the very near future, you're going to be ready to go in.
Yeah, I mean,
Travis Gibson definitely is not a rookie anymore. He was there last year.
Yes.
He dealt with the worst defensive line known to man with a grand total of 10 sacks for the entire defense last year.
No doubt.
So, I mean, he had a really good first preseason game. I think he's out there working. He's killing. He's doing what he needs to do. I think he's hungry. He's excited about the defense we have around him this year, which I think is important. I don't see him getting cut. I hope he's not getting cut.
I don't necessarily see him getting cut. It's just it'll be, barring injuries, it's a lot of defensive linemen. Because I don't think there's any way you can cut Lewis. Obviously, you got Ngakoue and the other guy's name's escaping here.
No, not Davis.
No, not Davis. You know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Dominic Robinson's going to be out there, and
Billings.
Yeah, Billings too, obviously. So it'll be interesting to see what they do there. if I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of depth at linebacker and defensive line that they're going to have to weed out here.
Well, we're going to find out real shortly, my friend. We're going to find out real shortly. So that's it for the show tonight, guys. Sunday afternoon, I'm going to be having another show. I'm doing a special Sunday episode for my guest who has a 7-hour difference than us. Bears Italia is going to be on the show. It's a group of guys in Italy who are hardcore Bears fan. I'll be talking to the founder of the group, Alex Cavatun. I think that's how you pronounce it. He'll probably slay it and say it all Italian. I'll sound stupid on Sunday. After that, I have maybe one of my most excited shows coming up on Monday. When I started doing this and I thought about doing a podcast, having super fans on, my first thought was, oh man, like I'd love to have Bearman on my show. And it's going to be a reality this Monday. Don Bearman Walker, the Hall of Fame super fan, is going to be here live right with me doing a show on Monday. So make sure to tune in to that. I'll be sending out the promo stuff for that shortly. It's going to be a couple fun shows coming up. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching, always having a good time. And you guys know how it goes. Bear down, baby.
Go Bears!
And go Bears!
Thank you, and go Bears!